Welcome to Real Food. Today I'm going to talk about a rather exotic food which is becoming very popular. This exotic food is called a sea urchin, and it's a very beautifully looking spiky sea creature. I will try and find some photos and show you some photos of actual sea urchins in the sea. They come in a variety of colors. They're like a spiky a tennis ball, and they have blue, purple, red colors. I, in fact, could easily confuse them for dahlia flowers. You know, if you know those dahlia flowers with those copious petals and deep red and purple colors, well, they do look like those dahlias, only they are underwater in the sea. And if you ask me, I would easily call them sea dahlias or sea flowers or sea chrysanthemums. You know, that kind of. It sounds very beautiful and very romantic. Well, they are called sea urchins, and they have another name, uni. They're very popular in Japan, and of course all seafoods are very popular in Japan. And this is also how I discovered these foods. And for a very long time, I wasn't sure how to actually prepare it myself. You know, I've seen it on a sushi in a Japanese restaurant, but this is what it looks like here. So the edible part is the caviar. Really, it's the raw caviar of this urchin. And there's about 5 of these segments in each one of the spiky actual urchins. So and also another problematic area was where do I get it? Because you don't really see it in shops on a daily basis. That's another problem. But there are places where you can order it from, and they do come frozen. I'm thinking perhaps I should show you, because if you've never done it, you might be curious. Perhaps I should show you. Okay, let's have a look what it actually. I'll show you what it looks like, how it arrives. Okay, here we are. Here's my sweet potatoes, gently frying, and while yeah, I need to turn them occasionally, just to make sure they don't burn on one side. And yeah, here we are. I was trying to record another segment of my video where I was showing you the tray, frozen urchins in a tray, but something malfunctioned in my camera, and so I lost that video. So I'm going to re-record that. But now I've started preparing my sweet potatoes. So I'll just roll them gently from one side to another. I'm not sure, I mean, it's the first time I'm actually defrosting sweet potatoes. I've always cooked them from fresh, because they're very easy to cook from fresh, but it's the first time I'm cooking them this way, and they look lovely. It's a nice shape. But I'm not sure if anybody else also cooked them before. I mean, do they actually come pre-cooked already? Because I'm actually not sure. I mean, when they're frozen, obviously they're very cold, and they look the right color. So, but I wasn't sure if they're already pre-cooked. You know, just a little. Because when I touched them, they had a little bit of some kind of coating, some kind of buttery coating, and I'm not sure if that coating comes from the actual factory where they pre-cooked them, or maybe there is a little bit of something that they simply sprinkled them with. So I'm just not sure. And you know what, I find it so confusing. These modern packages, they just tell you, oh, just throw it into a microwave, and they don't tell you what's already been done to them, whether they have already been cooked, pre-cooked. I mean, it's just so confusing sometimes. Anyway, I'm hoping I'm not going to ruin these sweet potatoes, because I really don't want to start entire oven just for these chips, sweet potato chips, and I do love them fried, because they're lovely and oily in the cold winter month. Well, it's November now in London. We're still in lockdown, but it already feels quite wintry. It's rainy. It's you know, only occasional sunshine, but it's that kind of weather where it's windy, rainy, you know what I mean. I mean, even if you're in a nice sunny country somewhere, you know, when it's raining and cold and windy, you kind of want to eat something filling and lovely and warm. So, I will prepare my sweet potatoes now. I think they're nearly there because they're already quite soft. So that's why I was curious whether they were already pre-cooked, and you really just needed to heat them up. But I will make them crunchy, because I'm gonna use these sticks then to consume my urchins. But while my sweet potatoes are frying, let me also show you what else I've done here. This little pink segment here that looks like a pink urchin. It's not an urchin, but it's a kind of wasabi. But this is what it is. This is what I got it from. It's beetroot and horseradish. It's got that wasabi taste, but not very strong. It's a fairly mild, absolutely vegan. And I wanted to go for real wasabi, but I've run out of real wasabi. And as I was researching where to order wasabi, you know what I found? I found that a majority, even if you buy that green paste, that green wasabi, which is called wasabi, it's really just an imitation of what the real thing is. I'm sorry to say, and I was also disappointed because to hear that. But basically, what happens? The real wasabi is an actual vegetable which you have to prepare fresh just before you eat it, because it's a grating process of the real wasabi. It's very similar to horseradish, but it's green. It's got green color. But as you grate it, it produces that mixture of beautiful spicy taste, like horseradish taste, but it's not the same. It's not like horseradish. Horseradish is very harsh and very strong. Wasabi is supposed to have those additional sweetness and sort of and sort of almost like cucumber cucumber undertones, and so it's a completely different experience. And I'm going to try this. What I've done, I've actually ordered fresh wasabi from a specialist company, and I'm going to record a video separately about that. But in the meantime, this is the reason why I mention all this. In the meantime, I've got this imitation of wasabi. It's a milder version. It's got some beetroot and horseradish in it, and I think it's a really good combination. Well, it's frequently used in Japanese restaurants. So I'm not sure, it's the first time I'm preparing these myself like this. I'm frying them. I don't know, are they ready? What do you reckon, guys? They look lovely and they're very soft. You know, when I was putting them, they already feel like they have been pre-cooked already, but I'm just not sure. And you know what? That addition, you know, I'm frying them in extra virgin olive oil. You know, they say you shouldn't fry in extra virgin olive oil because it's extra virgin and you can spoil something there. But you know what, apparently that's not true. You know, well, depending obviously on who you listen to, but I've listened to so many experts and read so many articles about olive oil. Olive oil is a really good oil, really generally for cooking. You know, the problem with it is that if it's genuine extra virgin, it's quite expensive. And there's a lot of counterfeit oil in that category, so it's expensive if you use it for cooking. But if you only use it small quantities like this to prepare these sweet potato chips, I think it's worth it. So why use something else if you like that taste? If you want, I think the taste of olive oil with these chips will be absolutely amazing. Well, they look really nice. I don't want them to overcook. I think they're really close now to being ready. So, but I do want a little bit of crunchiness, and they're really soft for some reason still. So I'm gonna leave them to simmer for a little longer, but I'm going to switch off the heat now. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to re-record my frozen urchin segment. So here we are. So this is how these urchins arrive. They arrive in this tray, it does say frozen and best before end of February 2022, so you can keep them a very long time, like more than 2 years. They can stay frozen for 2 years. That's fantastic. But if you open, basically they come in a tray like this, and there are about five segments. You might get a wooden box with more, but this particular one is how it arrived in my case, and I keep it in the freezer. And as you can see, I've got other fish fingers in there, and these are my sweet potato chips from M&S Food. And as you can see, there's very little in terms of instruction on how to cook and how to prepare them, so I had to do a lot of research. And this also didn't tell me coated in a lightly seasoned crispy batter. Okay, so they say they're coated in something. Cooks in 17 minutes. Yeah. So they say they're coated in something, and I guess that's the coating, that oily coating. That's what it is. But they're probably not cooked fully. So here we are. I'm back to my chips. 17 minutes. I don't think it's been 17 minutes just yet. But the instructions they normally give you is to put them in the oven, really, and in the oven they will be, I guess it will be different, they'll be oven cooked. So, and I think I am getting now some crispiness. I think this big one, I'm going to cut it and see what's going on inside them. Yeah, they're very soft. Ta-da. Okay. But I want a little more crispiness. And another thing, I wonder if I need more salt. If they say they're already coated in something, it might include some salt. You see, well, that's the difficulty with these prefabricated foods. You just, I guess I have to try. I'm going to take one and try, and you just never know. Okay, I'm going to take this one out, cool it, and I'm going to try. Okay, I tried them, and you know what? If they are salted, it's very, very mildly salted, and they do taste delicious. They are fantastic, actually, as they are. So I guess in that batter there is a little bit of salt. So if you don't want them to be too salty, don't add any more. That natural sweetness is just lovely in there. So I think these are. Oh yeah, I've switched the heat off now, so they will cool naturally. Yeah, and I've got some crispy now sides here. So this is how I'm going to eat my urchins. And you know what? I also want to share my experience of what those urchins taste like, because not many people have tried them. I know that, or if you have tried them, you've tried them on a sushi, and you probably tried many different sushi at the same time. So you might be curious. So I'm going to try just a little bit. So with a little bit of my seasoning. So I'm going to try more. So, you know what? It's a very interesting taste. It feels like there's definitely presence of sea environment in them, and there's yeah, it's a very unusual taste. So it doesn't taste like your typical caviar, but it's got a little bit of seaweed, a little bit of bitterness, and that marine taste. If you like seafood and you like marine, if you like oysters perhaps, but they don't taste like oysters. They're delicious, but these are not oysters. And I think I've made the right choice with my sweet potatoes. This will be a good combination. So sweet potatoes with a bit of horseradish or wasabi, it will go really, really well. So on this note, I hope this was useful. Let me wish you bon appetit, and we'll chat again soon.